Hello and welcome to The World Now on TVC. A murder investigation has been launched after 39 bodies were found in a container at the back of a truck at an industrial park in Grays, Essex on Wednesday. The police say the truck driver, a 25-year-old Northern Irish man, Mo Robinson, will remain in custody and confirmed that 3 properties were searched in County Armagh. There is more in this report.
Paramedics and police in Essex found the bodies of 31 men and 8 women, believed to be Chinese nationals, on Wednesday in a truck container on an industrial estate at Grays in Essex, about 20 miles east of London. The cause of their deaths is yet to be established, and 11 of the bodies have been transported to a hospital in the town of Chelmsford for the first post-mortem examinations and identification. The police say their priority is to ensure dignity for the victims in the largest investigation of its kind undertaken by the force, which was likely to be time-consuming. Police believe the container came from Belgium into England early Wednesday morning, while the truck that transported it is believed to have originated in Northern Ireland. The Chinese embassy in London has urged the local police to find out the truth as soon as possible. The Chinese embassy in Belgium has also demanded a comprehensive investigation by the Belgian police.
We hope the UK will quickly verify and confirm the identities of the victims, ascertain the facts, and punish those responsible in accordance with the law. This is the information that I can provide for you as of now. The UK police are still in the midst of investigating and at the moment are unable to confirm if they are Chinese nationals. But I think no matter what nationality the victims are, this is a huge tragedy and has caused the international community to take illegal immigration very seriously.
For years, illegal immigrants have stowed away in trucks while attempting to reach Britain, often from the European mainland. In the year 2000, 58 Chinese nationals were found dead in a tomato truck at the port of Dover.
Meanwhile, campaigners held a candle night vigil outside the British Home Office in honor of the victims of the tragedy. And our editor of the Pan-African Newswire, Abayomi Azikwe, joins me to speak more about this. Thank you for joining us. In the year 2000, as you heard in that report, the bodies of 58 Chinese bodies were found to have suffocated to death. Is it a coincidence that these 39 bodies to have been confirmed to be Chinese?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence. There have been a number of discoveries over the last several years of migrants who are being illegally transported across boundaries, particularly in Europe. There was an incident in Austria in 2015 where a number of people were found dead. According to the official reports related to this incident, the area in which they crossed is quite porous. They don't have adequate border patrol agents, and people are able to smuggle individuals across. There's a lot of money involved in this type of human trafficking, but the conditions are extremely dangerous, unsanitary. There even could be murders that have taken place in these incidents when those who are importing people discover that they're not going to be profitable. All kinds of tragic incidents and criminal activity can take place.
Now, you say the routes they are taking through porous. Now, why are they targeted?
Well, it's easier to get across into Britain from Essex and other areas. Also, with the closing of the camps, particularly in Calais, which took place about 3 years ago in France, it's much more difficult for people to come across illegally as individuals or as in groups. So typically what happens is that they pay people to transport them in trucks, in refrigerated containers, in order that they will not be discovered by border agents. But it's a very dangerous prospect just to get across to Britain. Obviously, there are people in England who are utilizing migrant labor that is unreported to the government. These people are being exploited heavily, and they're not being reported to the British government, and therefore there's a lot of unfortunate things that are occurring. This is a major problem, not only in England, but across Europe over the last several years.
Before the identities of these unfortunate victims were certain to be Chinese, there was already a Chinese hashtag trending on the social media. Do you envisage that this incident would lead to a strain between China and Britain?
I don't think it will. I know that there are problems, of course, not just people from China, but other nationals who are being illegally trafficked. A lot of them come through the Mediterranean, through North Africa, but it's not clear until a thorough investigation is carried out to find out how they actually arrived in Europe. That is going to be necessary. There may be other routes that perhaps the authorities are not aware of, but this is really something that is going on a very, very regular basis.
Would this incident deter many other migrants of other nationals from traveling dangerous routes to get to Europe?
It may deter some, others it may not. A lot of people are misled by human traffickers. They could be told that there are jobs awaiting them in England, and if they just follow them for a fee, they can gain meaningful employment. In many cases, this is not the actual situation. People have been put into the sex trade. They work virtually as enslaved persons. Their passports, in many cases, are confiscated. So you're in a very vulnerable position if you follow human traffickers across borders with no guarantee of employment or any type of immigration status in these new countries that people take up residence in.
Abayomi Azikwe, editor of the Pan-African Newswire, thank you for joining us on The World Now.